I'm stood here with Dino, who's a coaching client of mine I've been working with for a little while now, and we're standing inside his 6-bedroom HMO project. Now this project is going to make you how much money on an annual basis?
On an annual basis, we're looking between 17 and 23.
So somewhere between 17 and 23,000 pounds, so just shy of 2,000 pound a month profit. And how much money are you leaving in this deal?
We're looking at around 50,000.
50,000. And did you use all of your own money?
No, we had a private investor.
So you used a private investor. So what led you to get a coach to help you with this, to go through this process?
It's just, we felt we were fed up from the sort of educational point of view. It meant that if there's anything that I needed to question, rather than finding myself buried in forums and different articles, I just have someone to call that does all the reading for me.
Someone that does all the reading for him. Thanks a lot. You're welcome. Okay, cool. So somebody can give you a bit of a steer, a bit of a guide through, and so that's fantastic. And what's the sort of timeline until we finish this project now? How long we got left?
We're probably 4 to 5 weeks.
4 to 5 weeks. And your plan after this to do something similar, should we say?
It'd be nice to do something similar just while we are freshly educated on something and now we know all the hurdles that we're going to come up against. It would be nice to do something the same, so we can go in there with a bit more of an educated mindset, but if the right deal pops up.
Okay, so you've got a bit of experience now. You mentioned the word educated. How important is education in all of this? So I'll throw out an example. What sort of VAT are you paying on a building work here?
5%.
5%. And so your building works, I think you said it's somewhere in the region, not including that, how much?
Not including that, I think we're looking about 126.
It's about 100, you can test my maths here now. It's about 126,000 pounds. I'm going to just make it really easy for myself.
Yeah.
If this was 100,000 pounds of refurb and you didn't know that you could get 5% VAT because it's an HMO conversion, which a lot of people don't know, you're going to end up paying what, 20,000 pound in VAT?
Yeah.
So instead of 5,000 pound in VAT, I know yours is slightly different, but I'm not doing the maths on 126,000 on the spot. So 15,000 pounds from having the knowledge. So it's not just the money that you make sometimes, it's the money that you don't lose, because once you've spent that on VAT, you can't go back and claim it back. That's a one-way street. So, all right, useful to have knowledge for things like tax reliefs, how to navigate that, private finance. Now, you've used some private finance. Was that something you knew about years ago that you knew you could do?
Not at all.
So that's a bit of a new, this is the first time you borrowed somebody else's money to invest in property.
It is, yeah.
Private finance itself, give me some high level. So you've taken a loan from somebody. How do they know that their money is secure?
So they've got a first charge security on the property.
Nice. First, so what does that mean?
It means that if we don't pay them back, they can get their money back through the property.
So their money is actually secured on the bricks and mortar of the property. That's bank grade security. So it's the same as if you go and get a mortgage from the bank, they put a first charge on the property. So you're giving your investor bank grade security, which is great. And what sort of return are you giving the investor?
We're giving them 1% a month.
1% a month, so it's equivalent to 12% a year. Now if they go to the bank, they're probably going to get what, 3%, 4% if they're really lucky. So you're giving them triple what they're going to get from the bank. So that's a really good win for the investor, and of course a good win for you because it opens up deals like this.
Yeah, and it was still cheaper than needing to bridge the property. So it was a win-win for both.
So how long from the start of this project till it's done? So when did you get your offer accepted on the property?
So the offer was accepted mid-August because it was auction conditions. We did only have 56 days to complete.
Nice.
So we were done by the 31st of October.
So mid-August the offer is accepted and we're looking at mid-March to be finished?
Yeah.
Ish. So about 7 months?
About 7 months from viewing till completed expedition.
Nice. So do you think you could steadily do one of these a year without going too crazy? Maybe 2?
I feel like we could do 2.
2.
I said the right opportunity presented itself in the right area. There's no reason why.
So 2 years from now, you could have another 4 of these properties that are making just shy of £10,000 a month in profit.
Sounds great.
What advice would you give to somebody who's trying to make a decision right now? Do I do this property thing or do I just go back to work on Monday and forget all about it?
I would always just seek out some sort of education on whether you are actually excited about doing this thing. 'Cause for me, property was always exciting. It wasn't just an investment in like a crypto, for example, because it doesn't excite me. It was seeing a course and then finding out I can be educated in something that I actually want to get out of bed for and see come to life, like from nothing to a completed project. But also having to do the research on an area to make sure the figures do stack and not just buying something for the sake of doing it, which having yourself was very useful for.
Well, I do remember you pinging over spreadsheets. I'd get random spreadsheets sent over to me. But ultimately, you went through, because you were, I mean, that's a good point actually, because you analysed quite a few deals to get to this, and this is probably managing people's expectations. It wasn't the first property that you looked at.
No, it wasn't the first, and obviously it's persistent in getting past all the sort of setbacks that you get. And I feel like having a mentor on side and a coach, they can help you through those setbacks, where I think a lot of people, if the first time something doesn't work out or an offer gets rejected or they get beat out, I feel like even for me, it was enough to sometimes go, should I be doing this? Do I know what I'm doing? And then you just need a bit of reassurance, don't you? To say this is the process. And then I think it was only 2 weeks between me not getting one and then this one coming through. I remember calling you once saying, didn't get it, deflated. Don't worry, my man, there'll be a plan around the corner, and then suddenly there you go, the deal's in. Here we are.
It's great. So another great thing about what you're doing here, and the fact that you've taken the time to understand it, is you're producing a really good home, not just a good investment for you, but again, talking win-wins. You've got a win-win with your private investment, you've got a win-win with your tenants, because what you've done is you've gone really high spec, you're giving people a place where they're going to spend a large portion of their life, which is quite a satisfying thing and rewarding thing to do as well. But talk me through, like, how do you make a great home for somebody to live in?
So the thing that we've done in here to try and stand out and again make it a property that people do want to come and live in is we are putting kitchenettes in the rooms, and we're speccing them higher than what we need to do, just making it feel like a bit more of a luxury hotel room than anything else. So somewhere where when you come home, like, I want to be here. It's not just a bed that we sleep in, it's somewhere that I'm kind of happy to come back to at the end of the day.
Yeah, nice. I know we were having a conversation before we filmed this about mattresses and what the best sort of most comfortable mattresses for tenants are as well. So this is the level of care and detail that people put in, and that Dino wants to put into making people comfortable in their home. So in terms of room sizes, I mean, we've got big rooms in this property, particularly big rooms. What's the smallest studio that you've got here, roughly?
Roughly the smallest studio we have in this property, at 19 square metres.
About 19 square metres. And the biggest studio?
32 to 34.
About 32 to 34. So just for context, when you create a brand new one bed apartment, an entire unit for somebody, you're looking at about 37 square metres a lot of the time to do that. So you're not far off of an entire home in what you're creating for a studio within an HMO. I mean, I just want to highlight the fact that's massive. And so for somebody, they really can settle in. What sort of tenants are you looking for?
We're looking for young professionals.
Young professionals, so you know your demographics. Another thing that's really important to know is who you're going to be renting to. Then you can accommodate for them. I notice you've got partitions, you've got your kitchenettes, but you also got like TVs on the walls, and quite a nice standard of finish that suits young professionals. Anything particular that drew you to that market?
It's kind of, we feel like if we want to get a property back at the end of it that we still feel is in the condition we want, our best bet is to give it to people who we know are going to look after it.
Yeah, fair enough. And I know you toyed, when we've had discussions in the past and different coaching sessions, you've toyed with different demographics and you've weighed up different options. So, and you've ended up nailing it. And that's important, because a lot of them work and there's pros and cons to all of them, but it's important to make the one that works for you, decide the one that works for you, and then to get on with it and crack on. So that's brilliant. So are you out looking at other properties yet?
We have been.
Good. Yeah. Good. And it's keeping that timeline short, because what you don't want to do is finish this project, get your money, and then you start looking, because you get a lot of dead time in the middle. So somebody bagged this deal pre-auction that Dino was interested in, but he bagged this deal pre-auction. So yeah, I guess that's the way you're cooking. You should have learned. You did it yourself. But okay, so pre-auction's a great way as well to get that certainty, because sometimes things won't make it to auction. And I see a lot of people, they wait like a few weeks for something to go to auction, and then a few days before it sells. So if you're interested in something, just make that offer pre-auction. The worst they can say is no, and obviously how you frame that offer is important as well. So well done, congratulations. I think it's a great job. You've absolutely smashed it. I think you're creating fantastic homes for people to live in and spend their life in. I think that's incredibly important, and it's also a great investment to build your portfolio and create wealth and freedom for yourself as well. So what can I say, guys, except you're welcome.